Well, just you guys probably didn't realize, but this is a live show, and I haven't been doing live shows because there is one particular person who seems to like these live shows, and apparently they're going to be here in a few seconds. So, basically, cue the damn music. Okay, so this is UFO report number 97. It is live, and on the show today, I have the one and only Big O.
What's going on, everybody? Big O in the house.
You sound
Big
a little
O
sick.
in the house.
You sound like...
No, I just got done eating some hot wings, and it clears up the sinuses. That's my way of not getting sick. Is I eat some hot stuff, clear everything out, let it drain out, and then I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it comes out the other end just as hot.
Oh, yeah, like fiery hot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's a good... You know what? I saw a meme the other day that said this guy was like sitting on a toilet, and he had two aliens on the side, and he said, I wish you guys would have told me you were coming before I sat down.
Perfect time for brewing.
Yeah. That just happened. So anyway, we got Big O today, and we are going to talk about a couple of things. Big O brought his own article, UFO report, that he wants to talk about. But I also have one because I was looking around. Not too many exciting things out there right now. We're in that lull that we get from week to week.
It seems like real slow. At the beginning of the year, usually kind of, especially around this year in the transition between winter and spring, it seems like the UFO reports are coming down. Nobody really wants to go outside, film, record, or investigate because they just want to chill and be at home. So, yeah, it's kind of slow.
Yeah, and two, everybody's still waiting on the To the Stars Academy to come out with those other videos, and people are on the edge of their seat trying to find out what the hell is next after that Tic Tac video. And you know what? They're dragging it. They're dragging this shit to the bitter end, and they're rubber dicking all of us as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I think they're trying to build that suspense. The more suspense, they're trying to build as much excitement and suspense to it as much as possible. But I have a feeling there's going to be another smoking gun phenomenon where it's like, oh my God, there's the next smoking gun, and flop. That just happened.
Yeah, that's basically, I think, what they're building up to. They're trying to make this like really fantastic, really out of this world, and then they're going to let us down.
Big time.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the guy that we're talking about today is no other than Robert Bigelow, or as I like to call him, Robert Deuce Bigelow. And basically, Robert,
Bigelow,
we all know, is a billionaire, and he is the head of Bigelow Aerospace.
Mm-hmm.
So Bigelow, back when he was a little kid with his grandparents, there was like a UFO incident he was a witness to or what have you. And so that began his lifelong chase of UFOs and trying to track down every single bit of information he could find anywhere by hook or by crook is what it seems it's about. But the article that we have today is from Wired.com, and it's titled Inside Robert Bigelow's Decades-Long Obsession with UFOs. Okay, Big O, you haven't seen this article, have you?
No, I haven't actually.
So as usually, the link for the article is in the description if you haven't seen it already. Now, this article starts way back from the beginning. We can't go that far back because they really didn't. They actually started with the issues of how he got involved with the Skinwalker Ranch back in 1994. And
he's been there for a minute.
Yeah, he's been. Well, he gave up a. See, what had happened was that Mr. Bigelow. Yeah, what happened was Mr. Bigelow decided that when he read the story regarding the Mormon family at Skinwalker Ranch and all the crazy stuff they were going through, he decided he wanted to get involved. Now, the things that they were reporting at the time And this, I've never heard of this, but two large, thrice-over wolves that would not die after being shot by bullets. Cattle.
Oh, and this was also the ranch with their genital organs sucked out.
Yeah, that's the one. And also,
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, and they were having things going on as far as interdimensional UFOs and stuff coming in and out, stuff moving. They were actually saw, like alien beings coming out of, dimensions or what have you. So anyway, Bigelow got involved in that, and he decided that he was going to create the National Institute of Discovery Science, and he was going to go in there, send a bunch of people, set up shop, and try to get the 411.
Right.
So this occurred, around 1995. Well, it turns out that in 2004, he said, screw the dumb shit, I'm done here. Now, the story is that he really didn't find too much. There wasn't a whole lot. But I think that Bigelow is hoarding the information.
Oh, why is that? Well, he was there for 10 years.
Exactly. How can you find nothing?
Well, it's not only that. Like, after the first year, okay, nothing. But for you to stick around for 10 years and like, all right, we're done. That's 10 years.
That's a long day.
Did he forget about it?
Well, no, because
I don't get it.
What's fascinating here is that the story continues on to tell us that even though he deactivated the National Institute of Discovery Science in 2004, it turns out that when the Pentagon started an Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, or ATIP for short, back in 2007, that apparently some of those people that were part of this National Institute of Discovery Science were actually involved in that program from the Pentagon, which ended in 2012. Now, I found that really fascinating.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, to really add something else to this, now we all know Bigelow today as the guy that's running the Bigelow Advanced Aerospace space studies, and he's the one who got the contract from NASA to add those little pods, those habitat pods, to the space station. Well, it turns out that in 2007, after he got the contract for the whole ATIP program, it was about a year later that Bigelow created Bigelow Advanced Aerospace. So it's kind of fascinating.
Kind of weird.
Yeah,
it is. Like he just so happens to jump into the field where there's a lot of technology.
Yeah, so it was really fascinating the way he made that leap all of a sudden. Now, of course, the story is that Bigelow has his fortune in, hotels and things like that. So he's not exactly a stranger to that. But how do you take the leap from a ground hotel to adding freaking pods to the space station?
Yeah, well, you got to make sure the bedding's right, and the station. Yeah, no, there's no real connection.
There's no connection there. Now, in addition to that, we also know that Bigelow, he made some deals with MUFON at one point to get together and try to take some of their reports. He also made connections with the FAA and started having them forward any UFO reports to his organization.
How did he do that? Man, he got money.
He's got money.
When you got money, you can get all the information you want. Hey, FAA, just all the stuff that you about UFOs, just send them my way. Oh, we can't do that. Here's a whole shit ton of money. You can do it. It's okay. Oh, okay, no problem. I mean, really, how money makes the world go round. That's a prime example. Things that are supposed to be restricted and that nobody's supposed to know, you have enough money, you'll find out sooner or later.
Yeah, and basically, money is just making the world go round at this point, especially for him. Now, I did recently realize that Robert Deuce Bigelow is actually 72 years old. So,
that's old dude.
Yeah, so I guess there is a reason for him to be involved in absolutely everything when it comes to UFOs, because the time is running kind of short for him.
That's kind of messed up to say.
I mean, it is. I'm sure
he's about to go. Might as well get in. All in now.
I mean, he's got to. I mean, he's got a lot of money. Great. I mean, he might be like Walt Disney, and they'll probably freeze his ass somewhere. But I'm sure that the reason why he's involved in everything is because he knows, the time is running out for him. He needs to solve this mystery. He needs to do it now. And I think he already has. I have a feeling that Robert Deuce Bigelow has already solved a lot of the UFO story.
I would not be surprised if that man right there put some sperm cell samples in the Tesla that Elon Musk sent out in space. Can you imagine that?
So you think he jumped?
Spreading his seed everywhere.
He jumped on the roaster and made love to it?
No. Whoa. Oh man. Imagine if you put a black light to it, what you can see.
I don't want to know. I could see him and Elon just sitting there together, holding hands.
Holding hands, right? Rubbing one out. Oh, we're going to be the first ones.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at. And also, the other thing that he's involved with is apparently there is UFO material, some leftover junk from crashes or incidents or whatever, in some kind of a building in Las Vegas, and people are still talking about that. There's still articles coming out today of people guessing basically what could be held up in that storage facility in Las Vegas by Mr. Bigelow that would be of any significance to this whole ufology story. And still, nothing is coming out. We know nothing. We know as much as they told us when they first broke the news.
You see, the thing that kills me is that this is all pure speculation. Things that are hitting, our main, well, not main, but a lot of news source information for UFOs and stuff like that is all speculatory, which is horrible, right? Why don't we, unless we're coming up with facts, why don't we stop speculating? Please stop. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, supposedly, inside this warehouse, there's secret crash sighting stuff and blah, 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 blah. Well, that's the same thing they say about Area 51 and the Pentagon and everybody else. And holes in mountains. But there's no hard evidence anywhere.
There's no hard elephant. Did you say there's no hard elephant?
The spiciness of the tongue. There's no hard evidence anywhere. There's no hard evidence anywhere, and it's horrible. We have access to hard evidence, and just some of the things are very simple to get, and nobody's going out and getting it. I'm telling you, 90% of these stories. I think UFO Buster Radio, how it became, a show where we called it that, right? Because we want to bust all of the fake bad media when it comes to UFOs and actually bring out the true ufologists and push them along. Like, we think the story is good, you need to check it out, blah, blah, blah. And these stories are just garbage. Well, it's getting so blurred that we can't even do that no more.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Why can't we just find where the warehouse is, just raid it?
Or, we have some true ufologists that just go in there and do their thing and come out with stuff. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying, if you really want to know, you know where the place is at, go get it.
Yeah, let's get it. Giddy up. All right, so that's the story. There's more to this article. The link is in the description, so you can check it out yourself. Read it if you haven't already. It tells you a little more regarding Deuce Bigelow and what he's been up to. The age thing is not in there. That's just my assumption that he's about to kick the bucket, so he needs to solve this ASAP. But, hey, we'll see what happens, because the story is still live, and people are still talking about the craziness when it comes to Al Bigelow and To the Stars and Tom DeLonge, not so short. But But in the meantime, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back because Big O's got a story for you.
Hey guys, this is Marty Angler from Angling Waters Outdoors, and you're listening to my pally, Manny Moonraker, right here on UFO Plus Radio Network. Hey Manny, you know why I fish at night? Can you say UFO? UFO. That's right.
Coming to you from the hills of Texas, right here. UFO Buster Radio is now on the air. You can visit Manny and Big O at UFOBusterRadio.com. That's right, this is Bubba Doohickey saying, boys, squeal like a pig. Oink, oink, oink.
Okay, so we're back. The break is over. And so, Big O, you have a story that you went over. And I actually came across it, but I didn't really dive into it. But I think you did, didn't you?
I did. I'm not diving too much into it. I just, blue collar point of view, once again. There was a story over there by good old Area 51. Good old Area 51. Gotta love the place. The mysterious Area 51. So apparently, over Area 51, there was a dogfight between two jet fighters and a UFO. And it's a UFO, true to definition, is an unidentified flying object. Not saying that there was a space alien thing or extraterrestrial flying. It was pretty small. But the fact that you had two jet fighters swarming around it, doing loop-de-loops and not really shooting anything. I don't know why they called it a dogfight when they weren't really shooting at each other, because I doubt they would do that over USO unless something serious happens. But anyway, they were doing aerial maneuvers, around an unidentified flying object over a UFO, over Area 51, which is cool. But here's my theory. It's Area 51, peoples. Now, Area 51 is known for many things. A lot of it is UFO-related, but it's also a top-secret government facility testing out, supposedly, all kinds of crazy stuff. So, could they be testing out new technology from the aliens? Maybe. I'm not going to speculate. But what I am going to say is that it's been proven that a lot of our stealth technology has came from from Area 51. Not UFOs, but from Area 51. So, with that being said, just because you see an unidentified flying object over Area 51, it could be that they're testing something. I'm not saying that the government is all on the up and up, because obviously they're going to tell us. But what I am saying is, let's not jump the gun. And not to mention, there's so many different types of drones out. And they're not small no more. They're not as big as your hand or the pirate drones that with the cool camera, which I want one, by the way. But they're not those anymore. There's some big, big drones that people could pilot. And some people want to feel brave and fly over restricted airspace and take a few glimpses, which is per national security. They have to, do whatever. So, what I am saying is there was a document video and photographs of two jet fighters flying over Area 51 doing aerial maneuvers around an unidentified flying object, and not speculating that it is a UFO, but what I am saying is if somebody's flying a drone over Area 51 and you got pictures and videos, UFO Buster Radio wants it.
Well, I think that some of the people that recorded the video and took the pictures, that when they zoomed into those pictures, they saw a triangular craft, but it was like a lot smaller than the jets. So they were assuming that this was some kind of new military drone. Right.
Or somebody could be flying it and taking, pictures. I'm hoping that somebody's flying it and taking pictures of it, because it would be cool. Like, why make a triangular-shaped aircraft unless you're trying to make fun of the Area 51 people? Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, whatever
are
the
you gonna
case
make
may
it?
be, that's basically, I mean, it is what it is. I don't see that it would have been something foreign because, honestly, they probably would have been trying to shoot it down instead of just doing the dance of joy in the air.
Right. We are doing the mating dance of our people. No, they're not doing that at all. I mean, but I find it interesting that, you know, once again, it shows up on news, and it shows up because it's over a famous spot of known of UFO activity or UFO speculation that it hit front pages or front websites, you know, head pages of the websites because it's there. So pick and choose your battles, and I think if somebody was flying that and a civilian, UFO Buster Radio would love to see that. But if it's not, oh well.
So I want to give a shout out to UFO Seekers who just joined us in the chat box. And by the way, again, folks, we ended up being live because Big O likes being live when he's on the show. So we went live.
Oh, yeah.
So there was no pre-announcement. We didn't send anything out to anyone, but it is what it is, right?
Well, you know, yeah. Hello, person I don't know yet. What's up?
Yeah. So we also got joined by Paul Curtis. He says, "Hi, Manny and Big O. Any news from the contactee ladies in the Czech Republic in recent weeks?" Well, Paul, I get a lot of news. Actually, I get news daily from them. And they're constantly in contact with that EBE. Actually, the last one they sent from the EBE, Ollie, was him basically stating that the moon is hollow. And that there's a lot of tunnels in there and technology in the moon.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So that's basically it. So what's happening now is that whenever they do a channeling of the EB Ollie, what they do is that they'll send out to a list of people basically who are doing podcasts and shows. They'll send out basically a synopsis of what was transmitted and said. And I think what I can do is actually post that in UBR Truth Seekers whenever they send it. And like I said, they do send a lot. They definitely keep everybody abreast of what's happening with that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, Big O, do you want to tell people where you've been?
Strictly North Dakota. Like I said, still in the cold, still in the negatives. Every once in a while, dips down to the negatives. I do want to be on the show a whole lot more, so I'll probably most likely be on show a minimum once a month or more, depending on the time and scheduling between Big O and Manny. And I don't know, just doing my thing in North Dakota for now. Planning a trip to
keep it cool.
I think I need to plan a trip to Utah. You're so funny. But planning a trip to Utah, maybe. Yeah. You know, or Las Vegas. You know, explore that area again, because you know.
Hey, maybe we can send you to go to Bigelow's spot and take some of that material out.
I'm too big to sneak through stuff, but I'll figure something out. Yeah. Maybe if I could train like a ferret, like Beastmaster. Yeah. You know, train a ferret to go in and unlock doors.
Yeah, and I think you'll be able to identify the building because it has a big rubber dicker sign on the side of it.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. So Paul says yes. Please post the updates in the on the Czech chicks. I like that term, Czech chicks. Regarding the hollow moon hut, do any living beings hide inside it? Now, Paul, according to what I read from the EBE, the answer is no. There currently are no beings residing within the moon. What's happening is that they left all of that stuff back in there, and apparently there was like a bunch of different entities or aliens or whatever that came together way back in the day, and they set up shop, but now they've abandoned it. But the moon is still there, and it's full of technology. Now, like I said, I'll post it in UBR Truth Seekers so that you guys can read it. Ilona Prodaska, she actually sends information about every other day. They actually do readings and things like that, and try to contact with the EBE. But, I'm sure she would love to have that shared. As a matter of fact, maybe I'll ask her to join UBR Truth Seekers, so that way maybe she'll be able to just post them in there as soon as she gets them. And what we experienced before is that English is not her first language, so she has to kind of translate it from her language to English and then send it out. So it takes her a little bit of time to get to it. So Big O is apparently now entertaining the chat box, talking about chicks and porn.
You was talking, so
yeah.
It sounded like jet chicks. It sounded like something a porno. I might have watched one too.
I bet you did. Yeah. So anyway, before we end this episode, I want to make sure you guys follow the podcast on Facebook at the pages Manny Moonraker and UFO Buster Radio. Also on Instagram at Manny Moonraker and on Twitter at UFO Buster Radio.
UFO Seeker wants to know where we're based at. So one is based in North Dakota, the other one is based in Texas. You can find most of that information at UFO Buster Radio. Or if you really want to get to know us, obviously subscribe, like, share to the masses, share to everybody in the world, cat, dog, all that good jazz, and join our Facebook page so that way you can be more up to date on what we do.
And if you really want to get on Big O's good side, you can send him a porn.
Check chicks all day long. Probing,
check chicks.
Oh.
So any last words there, Big O? We're down to our last 3 minutes for this UFO report. Well,
UFO Buster Radio has brought to you by Big O and Manny Moonraker. Please, share, subscribe, hit the like button, do whatever it takes. Send UFO Buster Radio to the top. You have any stories or anything you want to talk about, send us an email. Hell, we might bring you on to the show. Also, I got somebody who wants to come on the show. His name is Jordan Scott, and he got a couple of tales. He's a trucker. He's been a trucker for about 5-6 years, and he got a whole bunch of stories. I can't wait for that interview to happen.
And just to piggyback on that, this coming Friday, we are going to have Carlos on here from the Michigan area, and he's got a bunch of stories that he wants to share that he's seen over Lake Michigan. So definitely tune in sometime by Thursday. We'll get together with Carlos and set up a specific time to be live. And just as a reminder, if you are listening to us live, you're probably listening at UFOBusRadio.com or on Spreaker. And the number to call in is 972-290-1329. So 972-290-1329. Even if we're not on, you can always call and leave a message just like Carlos did to let us know what was going down. So, Big O, this is the end of the show. You made it back again, so hopefully you make it back again in the future.
Oh, yeah, definitely coming back. Big O in the house. Never leaves. Turned out for what?
So, I guess you can sign us off.
All right. So, from Manny Moonraker, Big O, UFO Buster Radio signing off. Y'all have a good one. Laters.
Ciao, everyone.